Queues at petrol stations in Lagos, Abuja, and several cities across the country grew longer as marketers claimed that the depots now have a limited supply. You know how we do it, so over the next half hour, we will be looking beyond the business headlines by bringing you in-depth perspectives on what's happening in the business world. First, we'll begin with the oil sector. We'll proceed to taxation. Of course, there is a revenue collection, and these and more comes to you after the break. Stay with us. Well, hello and welcome to Business This Week today. My name is Chinwe Nwokocha. We begin today's news with subsidy removal, and the filling stations, particularly those operated by independent marketers, now dispense premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, at prices that are higher than the bans approved by the federal government, with some filling stations in the north selling as high as 685 naira per litre. Recall in July, the pump price of petrol was raised from between 537 naira and 550 naira per litre to 617 naira per litre at filling stations operated by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in Abuja and many states in the north. The price of PMS was also increased from between 488 naira and 500 naira per litre in Lagos and other southwest states to around 580 naira per litre. Meanwhile, in South, the price rose from 515 naira per litre to about 600 naira per litre. All marketers confirmed that any shift in price by NNPCL stations was an indication of a rise in the pump price of PMS as approved by the federal government, because the NNPCL, being a national oil company, was also the major importer of petrol, as the NNPCL is now the sole importer of petrol into Nigeria. Also, queues at petrol stations in Lagos, Abuja, and several cities across the country grew longer as marketers claimed that the depots now have limited supply. Petrol marketers told newsmen that NNPC Limited, which has returned as the sole importer of the product, was rationing supply to depots. The Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chief Chinedu Okadike, who confirmed the developments in a telephone interview, said most independent stations were unable to secure products from the depots. Okadike noted that with NNPC Retails as the sole importer of petrol into the country, marketers across the country were relying on the government-owned oil companies for supplies. Now, according to a reliable downstream industry source, NNPC has now adopted a policy of supplying products to only depot owners with at least 50 fuel stations. Meanwhile, the federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, says it has issued a total of 94 importation licenses to oil marketers. This was revealed by the Chief Executive, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, at the opening session of the ongoing 17th Oil Trading and Logistics Expos in Lagos with the theme Energy, Synergy and New Beginnings. While delivering the keynote address, Ahmed explained that the issuance of permits was for wholesome suppliers to import premium motor spirits into the country after removal of subsidy by President Bola Tinubu. He, however, said that out of 94 petrol permits, only 8 suppliers delivered 8 cargoes of PMS, totaling 251,000 metric tons within the period of June to September 2023 due to devaluation of the naira and high foreign exchange rate. And global demand for oil will reach its peak next 10 years, the International Energy Agency predicted for the first time, amid growing popularity of electric cars and the cooling of China's economy. The so-called peak demand is the highest level which demand for oil, and the export revenues for oil-dependent nations like Nigeria will get to and begin to fall. The predicted peak, which the agency also anticipates for coal and natural gas, does not mean a rapid plunge in fossil fuel consumption is imminent. It will probably be followed by an undulating plateau lasting for many years. The world will consume as much as 102 million barrels a day of oil by late 2020s, with the volumes dropping to 97 million barrels a day by mid-centuries. That's according to the base case, now called the state policy scenario laid out in the INE's annual World Energy Outlook. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited said 149 incidents of crude oil theft were recorded across the Niger Delta in the past week. The company said across the Niger Delta, the war on crude oil theft is on, and the industry-wide security collaboration continues to record remarkable progress. The oil firm said this in a statement in Abuja. It stated that in Osuobodo, between 2 and 10 flow stations south of Oguta Naval Base in Imo State, an oil bunkering site was uncovered far from the regular. This discovery was made possible after an invasion by the military following information gathered by air surveillance carried out by Target Energy, Tantita security agencies, Operation Delta Safe, and the military in August. Nigeria's exports to Angola hit $16.8 million between 2020 and 2022, the Secretary of State for International Cooperation and Angola Communities, Domingos Lopez, said. Lopez stated these at the first interactive Angola-Nigeria Business Forum held in Abuja. The secretary, who represented the Minister of External Relations, His Excellency Tete Antonio, said the ties between both countries were marked by signing the first economic, technical, scientific, and cultural cooperation agreement in 1976, adding that the exchange between the duo has been remarkable in the diplomatic, defense, and security, petroleum, education, culture, and transportation. Concerning the main product group, Angola exported crude oil weighing about 42% to Nigeria, optics and precision accounting for 20%, and mechanical machines and devices with their functions accounting for 14% of the total volume of exports. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the administration of President Bola Tinubu will continue to strengthen both mutual ties through a deliberate pursuit of productive bilateral relations. The Federal Executive Council approved the application for a $3.45 billion loan to finance 5 items. They include projects in the power sector, renewable energy, state's resource mobilization program, adolescent girls initiative for learning and empowerment, and a women's empowerment project. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Idun, told State House correspondents that the federal government will proceed to receive $3.5 billion zero-interest loan payable within 40 years with a 10-year moratorium, meaning payments would begin from 2033. The finance minister explained that the girls program worth $700 million would support young girls within secondary school age to equip them with the marketable skills in addition to their academic achievements. You're still watching Business This Week on Viewer Television. It's time for a short break, and when we return, the program continues. Do stay with us.
advertise your products and services on our platform, Viewer Television is here to give your business a boost with a touch of professionalism. If you're a brand owner, entrepreneur, proud business owner, let's place your business in the face of your customers. Contact us so we can talk business on 081-2121-2278 or info@viewertv.com.ng. Always remember, we are here for you.
Two souls came together. Came together. Two souls came together. Where am I now?
Welcome back. This is Business This Week. Moving on, let's take a look at revenue collection and how the electricity distribution companies disclose have improved their revenue collection while reducing losses arising from technical, commercial, and general operations. The National Electricity Regulatory Commission said the aggregate technical, commercial, and collection loss recorded across the 11 electricity distribution companies in Nigeria declined by 7.98 percentage points to 38.41% in the second quarter of 2023 when compared to 46.39% recorded in the preceding quarter. The breakdown of the next second quarter report shows 18.47% of technical and commercial losses and 24.46% in collection losses. This level of ATC and C loss implies that over the course of second quarter of 2023, cumulatively, 38.41 naira out of every 100 naira worth of energy received by a disco was unrecovered due to a combination of inefficient distribution networks, energy theft, low revenue collection, and unwillingness of customers to pay their bills. The acting chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adedeji, has allayed fears being expressed by corporate organizations that the resolve of FIRS to increase the country's tax to GDP ratio to 18% from 10.86 will lead to increase in taxes. In a statement, Adedeji said such resolve would not necessarily lead to increase in taxes or introduction of new taxes, as the President Bola Tinubu-led administration was determined to create a wholesome environment for businesses to flourish. The FIRS chairman said the agency, under his leadership, would in the next 3 years achieve 8% raise in tax to GDP ratio to surpass Africa's average of 16.5% without stifling investment or economic growth. The plan had triggered muffled apprehensions that the decision could cause an increase in tax rates or introduction of new ones. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians and the international community that Nigeria's economy will soon rebound back. President Tinubu, who gave the assurance while flagging off the two-day Green Economy Summit organized by Niger State Government Amina, also pledged unfettered support aimed at unlocking the vast mineral resources across Niger State. The green economy is an economic system that aims to reduce environmental risks and ecological scarcities while improving human well-being and social equity. Nigeria has enormous possibilities for sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, ecotourism, and coastal development, which are linked to the opportunities in terms of the green economy. The president, who was represented by the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abdullahi Sabi, said insights into the newly approved solid mineral development policy during the Federal Executive Council meeting held earlier this week.
To show the President's commitment to the enthronement of a green economy, just yesterday at the Federal Executive Council, a new solid mineral development policy was approved. And this policy will definitely align and benefit the green economy that you have envisioned for Niger State. Because the policy is emphasizing on removing all forms of inegalities that is desecrating and destroying our environment.
On his part, former head of state, General Abubakar Abdulsalam, applauded Governor Bago for providing quality leadership since he assumed office.
Certainly, we need to do something to go back to green economy. I want to commend you, and I wish you all the best as we discuss the importance of harnessing the green economy.
In his goodwill message, Governor Zulum, who applauded Governor Bago's initiative, expressed optimism that the summit will help in achieving economic transformation as well as employment generation.
Niger State has said we are in a very great problem. The ratification is encouraging in a fast way. And therefore, the only way that we shall get rid of the ratification is to invest on renewable energy, which is very important. We need also to reduce pumping costs in our own agricultural sector by investing in drip irrigation technology, investing in sprinkler irrigation, reducing over-dependence on surface irrigation, with a view to reducing energy.
In his address, Governor Mohammed Bago of Niger State, who convened the first subnational Green Economic Summit, disclosed that his administration has produced its first Green Economy Blueprint, a strategic document outlining a visionary roadmap that will shape our development choices and steer our actions in alignment with the precepts of sustainability.
Our environment, securing a prosperous future for our selfless and the generation to come. It is with the unwavering determination that we are assembled here today for this summit to galvanize actions, subnational and national, define ways in which we could collectively harness our green assets and innovation to usher in prosperity. I am happy to inform you that the Niger State government has produced its first green economy blueprint.
Meanwhile, the federal government has announced that it attracted over $2 billion in investments in the renewable energy sector over the past decade. It announced this through the Rural Electrification Agency, adding that in advancing these achievements, it established partnerships with the World Bank, African Development Bank, Global Alliance for People and Planet, Rocky Mountain Institute, and Japan International Cooperation Agency. Others include the Sustainable Energy for All, the United Kingdom Nigeria Infrastructure Advisory Facility, among others. The Director of Promotion and Outreach, Mutari Ibrahim, who disclosed these in a statement issued in Abuja, said from 2020 to date, REA has provided power to over 7.5 million people, including 1.5 million households, delivering 13 mini-grid projects, including 1.3 million stand-alone home systems. Currency outside banks reached 2.35 trillion naira in September, representing a 6.0% month-on-month rise when compared to 2.29 trillion naira in August 2023. The Central Bank of Nigeria disclosed this in its money and credit statistics data for September 2023. This reflects the impact of the implementation of the Supreme Court order that owed 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira notes remain in circulation till December 31st, 2023. The implementation has also reflected in currency in circulation, which stood at 2.76 trillion naira in September, increasing month-on-month by 3.7% from 2.66 trillion naira in August. Now, recall that part of the reasons for the federal government's redesigning of the naira was to mop up excess cash outside the banking system and rein in inflation. Meanwhile, the data showed that banks' credit to the private sector rose month-on-month by 4.8% to 58.6 trillion naira in September from 55.97 trillion naira in August. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has communicated plans to develop cost-effective housing designs and promote the construction of quality and affordable housing for Nigerians. The minister made this known when he received the leadership of the Nigerian Institute of Quality Surveyors, led by its president, Shonubi Olayemi, at the ministry headquarters recently. He disclosed that one of the central pillars of his tenure as the Minister of Housing and Urban Development is the prioritization of affordable housing. According to him, it is of utmost importance that the ministry address the housing needs of 80% of Nigeria's population who fall within the no-income, low to medium earners category. He noted that an affordable housing design committee was created within his first week in office to develop more efficient design options to meet the income profiles of the Nigerians within the brackets. Olayemi said professionals in the ministry have done a great job and he would like to comment before unveiling them to the public. He added that his goal is to come up with the most efficient, workable, sustainable, and affordable designs that will help deliver on the administration's mandate. The Federal Executive Council has approved the setting up of Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation Fund with the hope of raising $5 billion yearly to emergency responses to humanitarian crises. This is as the Council also approved a $3.45 billion loan for various projects, including girl-child education, among others. Wale Ejun, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, disclosed this earlier this week, shortly after the FEC meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu. Edun revealed that the sum of $7 million has been set aside to finance adolescent girl-child education and empowerment under an additional women's project for the country. Speaking on the memos he presided for approval of at FEC, the minister stated that the project is about empowering women, upscaling their skill levels, and of course giving them some financial inclusion, including in the banking sector. Well, that's so much we can take on business this week today. My name is Chinwe Nwokocha. And from all of us here at Viewer Television, we say thank you and see you sometime next week. Bye for now.